and welcome to this week's episode of Top Rope Podcast. My name's James, this is Ian.
What's up?
This is part 1 of episode 4, so this is hot news. This is where we go through any backstage gossip on injuries, pretty much anything that's going backstage. Right, so let's kick it off. Ian, what's been going on this week in wrestling?
So one thing this week, Dixie Carter, has announced she doesn't want any TNA talent joining GFW.
Yes, I've heard this as well.
Now I don't know how much
is GFW
Jeff Jarrett's
Global
Force Wrestling.
Right, Global Force Wrestling.
Now I don't know how much she just doesn't want it to happen or it's implied to, because obviously they've tweeted out there's some names now that I will be doing the event.
Do you know any names?
Off the top of my head, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Duncan Black, PJ Black, whatever his name was, Justin Gabriel.
Right.
There's been a few. I think the Young Bucks.
TNA were trying to sign Young Bucks.
Everyone's trying to sign them, and they did say no to everyone.
Yeah. Apparently they want to go to Japan.
Yeah.
WWE
offered them a deal and they didn't want to either.
No.
No.
Bloody hell. That's pretty.
Respectable of them.
Yeah. They want to keep it. They want to keep it real.
But I know. I can't remember his name now. Big guy. And he's what's he now? He's in TNA. Tyrus, yeah. He's been announced for it, so obviously he didn't go very far.
Well, Brodus Clay or Tyrus?
Yeah, that's confirmed for GFW now.
Oh.
But he's not leaving TNA.
Right.
He's just working there as well.
Do you reckon it's just? I mean, he doesn't really wrestle.
I think it's just because TNA they just need work. A lot of the wrestlers.
They need,
because obviously one thing they've cancelled the China tour last minute.
Yeah.
Which a lot of the talent weren't happy about because obviously it's just money.
Yeah.
Which they're not getting now. And apparently, I did read today there's no more live tapings now till summer.
Bloody hell.
So there's only Impact tapings to do, which they do about 4 in a go.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of work for these guys
in between
tapings, really. So they've got to take work where they can.
Which used to be like a pro for Impact wrestlers. That was something that was
like,
advantageous.
Yeah, if I go to Impact, I can still wrestle other places.
Yeah.
But I know TNA they did cut down there, didn't they? But I think they do have like deals, don't they? Like I know they have deals with New Japan Wrestling.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what deals they've got going on at the moment with other federations, but they have had them in the past.
Yeah. Also this week, Daniel Bryan vacates the IC title.
Yeah, so I think this is incredibly cheeky of the WWE to make him do this. Do you not think? How long is he meant to be out for?
They don't know. That's the issue because he didn't get the surgery he was meant to last time.
Right.
He sought different medicines a way of healing himself.
Right.
And it obviously hasn't worked. So for now, it's like they don't know. They don't know if he will be back again at the moment. So to me, I think it makes sense. I'd rather have a champion that's not on TV than one that's injured. And I think even Daniel Bryan would admit that it's better to have a fighting champion. And I know Brock Lesnar was different. That was a completely different ballgame.
Why is that different?
Because they were trying to make him an attraction, like a special event. Daniel Bryan is just legitimately injured.
No, they tried to make him a special event because they had to play the cards they were dealt. Lesnar wouldn't sign a full-time contract.
No, but they still. But by doing that, they think, what's the best way you can do this to our advantage is to make him right. You don't see Brock Lesnar all the time. When you do, it means something.
Right.
To me, the IC title isn't as important as the WF one anyway. So you can't really attract it. It's a belt that only get defended sometimes. When you've got the WF one that's actually now being defended a lot more often again now.
Right. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So I think of us, it's just they don't know where he's going to be healthy again.
Okay.
So hopefully maybe he'll get the surgery this time and take more time to recover. And maybe one thing I did see was someone saying about maybe he returned the night after WrestleMania next year.
Christ, that long?
Well, probably a rehab.
Right.
And that's always a good. Night after WrestleMania is always a big show.
Yeah, it's a big return, isn't it?
So it's a big return to that. So maybe we'll see, but I think it will be a while for Daniel Bryan back wrestling.
Right.
And they have said they are invested in Daniel Bryan because they've just done a new book deal with him.
They've done a DVD as well.
DVD, recently. He's going to be on Tough Enough. So they are not only trying to bring him on TV in some other way.
Right.
What that'd be, I don't know, maybe commentary, an online role, like maybe a commissioner or something.
Yeah.
We just have to wait and see. But they still want to keep Daniel Bryan on TV.
Is he going to be full-time on Tough Enough?
He is.
Is it confirmed for Tough Enough?
What I've read is you've got Jericho is the host.
Yeah.
You've got Booker T, Lita, and Billy Gunn are the trainers.
Right.
And then you've got Paige, Hulk Hogan, and Daniel Bryan are the judges or panelists or something. They haven't been too clear on it, but so I'm not too sure.
It's going to be interesting to see what the format of the show is.
Yeah, I'm definitely actually getting more interested in Tough Enough.
When's the start?
I want to say June 25th.
Is it on the network?
No, it's on USA Network.
Would it be on over there?
I don't know. Let's find out. If we do find out, we'll let you know.
Kick ass times.
Yeah, more like or pirate bread. I've been on.
Yeah, I've been
Old school.
Yeah.
Not that we condone this.
No.
We own the rights to it all.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we only download stuff we've already purchased.
Yeah, so obviously, like you all do.
Yeah, everything we download is we already own.
Yeah. Sami Zayn, it looks like is going to compete at NXT next week.
Yeah.
Obviously, we haven't reviewed it, but this week's episode of NXT, he was on the show, but it's obviously predated, recorded. But it hasn't been signed that he isn't going to compete. And you think by now, WWE, if he was that injured, they would come up with a plan and they'd be promoting it already.
Right.
So it looks like, as far as we can at the moment, maybe his shoulder's not as bad as it looked. It seems.
They might have just played on it, maybe.
I mean, obviously they probably let him rest since it's happened.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not as bad as or maybe he might be. He's going to work. He's going to be injured, but he's going to work the match the best he can, and he afterwards just take the rest period after then. But we'll just have to see.
And then, well, you said Sami Zayn's not due to be winning the title anyway off of Kevin Owens.
From what I read, Kevin Owens is meant to be holding the title for quite a while still.
Right.
So we'll just have to see how the match plays out. Hopefully, it won't hinder the match too much. But it depends how bad the elbow is, his shoulder is. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll be able to still put off a decent match.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the rest of the Cena match, it wasn't that bad. He still did like all his normal moves.
Yeah.
Considering he'd done the show there and then, so maybe since he had time to heal,
he might
he should be able to do a bit better for it. So
yeah.
But hopefully we'll still get a good match out of that. Also this week we get announced that the Elimination Chamber is back.
Yes. So this is this a WWE Network exclusive?
Yes.
It is.
Now this is obviously because it's free again to new subscribers this month on the network. So it's obviously still trying to get more subscribers in, like they did with King of the Ring, which was this month or last month?
I think
it was last month.
Or was it the end of after Extreme Rules, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it was. I think it kind of on to last month's one.
Right.
It seems a bit rushed to me to have another pay-per-view event since we've got Payback this Sunday, and then we're going to have another pay-per-view. Pretty much. Well, it will be pay-per-view in.
What title is on the line?
They're going to have the WWE title will be defended.
The world title.
The US title will be defended.
Right.
But as far as I've read, only the IC title and the tag team titles will be defended in the Elimination Chamber.
Right. Okay.
So they will make they're turning into a proper. It's not like it'll be like the King of the Ring was an hour special. It will almost be a full-on pay-per-view. It might be just those 4 matches, but still, I'll probably imagine on a normal pay-per-view you'd only get maybe 1 or 2 matches, and they'd be quick matches anyway.
Yeah. It does make me think that no titles are going to change hands on that event. If it's a network exclusive,
the US title was vacant.
Sing this guy.
US. That's sorry, IC title. Sorry.
Right.
So a new champion for that.
Okay, the IC title makes sense to have that on the line, but they're not gonna change World Heavyweight Champion on a network exclusive pay-per-view.
They might do.
I don't reckon they will.
I don't either, to be honest. I'm not saying it's impossible. I reckon the world title's fine. Don't think Seth Rollins dropping that till SummerSlam anyway.
Right.
The IC title also will get a new champion there. Tag team champion. It all depends on how it plays out at Payback.
I think the tag titles could change hands.
I possibly think they could change at Payback and then change back. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
And the US title, it all depends on how they go, because apparently this is meant to be the last match between Cena and Rusev.
Right.
So I think Cena's going to win, but obviously they're going to be picking a new opponent for the Elimination Chamber. So we'll just have to see how it. By next week, we will obviously get more indication of wherever they're going with it. So.
Right. Well, I mean, we might as well give our prediction now for thingy, haven't we? For Elimination Chamber.
Well, we don't know the matches yet, though.
Oh no, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
Apparently, the tag team match, the back and forth of how many teams will be in it.
Right.
First of all, it's going to be 3 teams, and they're now on about having 6 teams in there.
Right.
But it's like one pin or submission, and that whole team will be out.
Oh right. I don't know about that. I don't know if I like that.
But it's because there's going to be 12 people in there.
Well, what? Just don't put 12 people in there.
Well, they want to make it a spectacle, don't they?
I guess. But...
And I think the way they do it is obviously you'd have New Day, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
Yeah.
Probably Luchas.
Yeah.
Luke Harper and
Eric Rowan.
Owens. And then the 5th one, you've got the Ascension, Los Matadors.
Oh. We can't have them.
The Mega Powers 2.0.
Who?
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
So we'll have to see. But I don't know, I'm kind of looking forward to it. The tag team one anyway.
Yeah.
I imagine the IC one, what I'd like to see in there would be Barrett, Sheamus, Dolph, Neville, especially Neville, because he's probably do some crazy in there.
Yeah.
and then you've got someone
You
like...
can just see him doing a red arrow off the top of one of the pods.
Yeah, something, or some crazy flip or something.
Yeah.
And then I imagine you probably get like Ryback in there, or maybe Bray Wyatt, or there's other mid-card Stardust. Actually, there's other mid-carders you can chuck in there. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
Well, it should be a good event either way, I
Yeah.
reckon. Should be. Well, I don't know. I always say that. I always think, well, you know, it will be a good event.
Yeah.
But then it gets to it, and sometimes it's just like,
I think we need to see near the time because we can see actually what the card's going to be. So
yeah. And the story would have had time to evolve a bit.
You got any news?
I know this week the production and crew for TNA have finally been paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been
About
paid.
time.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, no, don't really have much gossip, unfortunately. So that kind of wraps up hot news, I guess.
Fact of the week, new little segment we're doing here.
Yeah, Ian's fact of the week.
Ian's wrestling fact of the week.
Right.
The WWE World Heavyweight Championship bout has changed hands more times on Raw and SmackDown than it has at WrestleMania.
Well, that kind of goes without saying.
Why is it?
Because there's 52 Raws in a year.
But how often do you see it, the world title change on Raw and SmackDown? You think over 31 WrestleManias?
Yeah, 31
I
WrestleManias.
didn't say it's an interesting fact, I'd say it's a fact.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that for a fact?
Well, no, I didn't.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen, that's the definition of a fact.
And that's the end of Hot News.
Part 1.
Part 1.
Remember to check in Part 2, which will be Impact.
Yes, so Part 2 of Episode 4, which should just be alongside this video.
Which we'll check out next, obviously.
Which, yeah, you should be checking out next. Will be the last 2 weeks of Impact.
Yeah, so remember, like, subscribe, tweet, everything.
Our Twitter is Top Rope Podcast 1.
Right, see you in the next bit.
See you in Part 2.
Boom.